This is a quick video for parts per. So it could be parts per million, parts per billion, or even just parts per trillion. But let's do parts per 100, or also known as a percent. Percent. So this used to actually be two words. It used to be per and cent. Over time they combined. But what this really means is per just means divide, and cent means 100. 100. So just like a century has 100 years in it, a penny is 1 cent or 1/100th of a dollar. So cent means 100. So if I get 3% off, 3% off, and I spend $2, how much money did I save? So for every $2 I spend, I save 3%. Or for every $2, so for every 100 parts of $2, 100 parts of $2, I get back 3 parts. So I multiply that by 3 parts. Notice this parts cancel out with that, and what we end up with is $6 divided by 100, and that is equal to 0.06 or 6 cents. 6 cents. So this is an excellent way of testing yourself with percents, because you might already have an idea of how to do a percent. So this is the exact same method we'll use for parts per million. So let's get to the parts per million. So let's say we have a solution of 100 grams, and it has 10 parts per million of mercury. So we have a solution of 100 grams, and 10 parts per million of that solution is mercury. So how much mercury do we have? How much mercury do we have in grams? So what is that equal to? Well, we have 100 grams of the solution, and we want to divide that into 1,000,000 parts. So we divide that by 1,000,000. So 1,000,000. Now, of those 1,000,000 parts, of the solution, 10 parts of those are mercury. So we multiply that by 10 parts. 10 parts. Now, what is that equal to? Well, see, this 10 and multiply that by 100, so we get 1,000 grams divided by, well, this part, and that's actually supposed to be a part right there. Parts cancel out there. So that's then divided by 1,000,000. 1,000,000. So that is equal to 1 gram per 1,000. Or simply equal to 1 times 10 to the negative 3 grams. So there is an extremely small amount of mercury within the solution. There is only 1 times 10 to the negative 3 grams of mercury in the solution, or there is 1 milligram of mercury in the solution of mercury. So that is how you do parts per million. And parts per billion is the exact same idea. So this is a very basic video over parts per million. I'll probably add a little bit more, but overall, that is how you calculate parts per million and how much there actually is. And if you want to do any other math, just remember, if you can do it the percent way, it'll be the exact same way for the parts per million.